This episode is brought to you by Le Phone Stop. Located at 5900 Sherbrooke Street West in NDG, Le Phone Stop offers a full range of cell phone services, including repairs, activations with Lucky, Kudo, and Chatter. They also offer a selection of new and second-hand phones, including iPhone and Samsung. Need more than just phone services? Le Phone Stop also handles computer repairs and provides internet options to keep you connected. Support local and visit Le Phone Stop today. And now, back to your podcast.
Hey, we are back. Another session is about to hit the books. I'm excited for this one. I'm sure you recognize, because he's a former Sessions with Stefer. I just came up with a new word.
Two times in 1 year.
2 times in 1 year, but with 2 different projects. So we're definitely going to get into his new project. He's still with the old project.
Still doing it.
You know, Loudmouth is always gigging, playing amazing gigs. But we're going to get into it with D. I'm going to introduce him formally right after we do the sponsor, and after I do the drink.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Let's talk about a little thing. Right now, we had a podcast, so let's talk it out. Hi, Lisa. How's it going there?
Good, yeah, everybody. How are you?
Good. So we have this podcast. We filmed Let's Talk It Out right before Sessions with Stef. And the podcast before
still parties going on.
was a fucking wine
tasting,
tasting and importers of wine. So it's like it felt like I'm hiding the bottles. So basically, we got some wine here.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers.
It was quite good, actually.
These are special imports, private imports, amazing wines.
You have to be only on Sessions and Let's for this.
You gotta, and if you want to know which ones they are, reach out to me. I'll let you know.
There you go.
So yes, let me get in. You did see right before we started this podcast, a new sponsor. Everybody has a phone. They always break or something's wrong or something goes, they get screwy pretty after because we use them like fucking crazy. I don't think mine has turned off since I bought it 6 months ago. Like I don't think I've turned it off. I don't know. I don't think I've ever turned the phone off.
Reboot, eh?
Unless it's rebooted or the battery died. Otherwise. So needless to say, if you saw the ad right before, Le Phone Stop, it's your one-stop shop to fix your phone if you want to buy a phone, a used phone, a new phone, but repair. That's what they do. They also do internet stuff, as you saw in the ad.
They have options for internet, yes.
But you never know where to bring it. And usually what happens is you're walking through a mall or something and you see a little kiosk that says phone repair or iFix, and you're like, oh, I got to go there. And you try to fix it on one day. But these guys... They're on Cavendish, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're at 5900 Sherbrooke Street West. So they are in NDG.
Yeah,
and it's a nice little place. And the gentleman's name is David, and he offers a full range of services. It also includes computer repairs. If you need computer repairs done, definitely a place to go.
If you mention Sessions with Stef or Let's Talk It Out, he will definitely hook you up.
Yes,
good guys. And you know what? We all need a place that we can trust to fix our phones.
Yeah,
the Phone Stop is the place to do it.
Yes,
and of course, let's do it, Lisa.
Yay!
Our next sponsor.
Van, you're the man.
And I even did the Van, you're the man. I got the guns blazing.
The guns are blazing.
He's our regular,
you're wild like that.
Oh yeah, he's our regular real estate broker. He commercial, industrial, residential.
Yes.
He's such a good guy. He's so calm. He knows. You need a notary. Give him a call. He knows where to send you. Obviously, if you want to sell your house, you want to buy a house. He works for his clients.
Yes.
Not for, and if you're selling, he's working for you.
Yes.
He's not going to just sell you anything. If he doesn't think you'll like it, he won't just sell it.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. He's amazing. Van Cropsel, you're amazing. Where can we find Van Cropsel?
We can find him at Remax Alliance, Equipe Cropsal, 438-402-9471, VANC at remax-quebec.com or vancropsel.com. He is absolutely dedicated, motivated, and quality excellence in terms of service.
Absolutely. You can call him and say, I was referred by Sessions with Stef, or Let's Talk It Out, and he's going to jump. He's going to jump and sell you a house in 20 minutes.
There you go. That's what it is.
No, he's great. He's really such a good guy.
Yes.
And now we're going to get into this. This is a different kind of podcast. So I always say that. I feel like every podcast.
We complicate things, don't we?
No, you know what?
Complicated for you.
I like to switch it up. We have a standard way of doing things, of course. This is the setup here at M's Place. The studio is amazing. It's our studio.
is a studio,
but
yeah.
it's an art gallery, and it's an amazing art gallery. It's beautifully well located. Obviously, it's well lit. It's amazing. It's a really nice place, and he offers it to us. Emerge, you are fantastic. Thank you for letting us use your place.
He has emerged.
Yeah, he's emerged to be my savior in this place. And you know what?
Pretty
Marcin
good.
is his better half, let's just say. And I love you. Like, she literally bought a bottle of Gentleman Jack just so he can have it on the podcast.
All right.
She's the best. She's the best. Anyways, so guys, I always try to do something different, just to, not always, so people can expect something different. And this time, it just so happened, it's a little bit different. We're going to talk. I'm going to introduce my guest. So we have a project. You saw him here with Loudmouth, great band. They're gigging all the time. You can check them out anywhere. But here I have Dionysios. Is that the best way to say it? Dionysios?
Yeah,
Okay, Dionysios.
D, everybody calls
D,
me
everybody
D.
calls you D.
D.
That's how I'm going to say it. D, welcome to Sessions with Stef again.
Thank you for having me twice.
With your project now. This is your project with somebody else.
Yep.
And it's called The Far Removed. So your partner, Tony, amazing, really cool guy.
35-year friendship.
Wow.
Lives in Windsor right now.
Wow.
We talked about it
Yeah.
last night a little bit. Yeah. Yep. And we've been writing music for the past we've been writing music for about 30 years. Took a big break for a while, but just in the last 12 to 15 years, we got back into it. He lives in Windsor, so we started writing everything on the internet, and thank you to technology that caught up, like you said. And we've been able to do it, and we found a way to write music together and continue the passion that we both have.
Amazing. So this podcast, we're gonna watch one of the new songs that was just released.
Yep.
It's called The King. Great tune. We're gonna watch it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna air it here on Sessions with Stef, and then, like I said, we're changing it up. We're gonna get into a little Zoom with you and your partner, with you and Tony on the Zoom, where we're going to talk about the process and everything. And then we'll come back and do a finishing. You and I will do a finishing to the podcast. So it's a little bit different. We get a Zoom, we get a live video that you're going to see, an amazing song and all of it. So
I feel like Madonna changing outfits between.
yeah, exactly. Different clothes. So the actual Zoom was done on a different night. So just to give you a reference. Now, so it's a project based on a friendship. You guys played together years ago, and it's based on a friendship. And I want to get into it because you play all the time. You're a great guitar player. You work amazing in studio. I can tell. It's your bag. You feel at home. But what touched me about this one is that obviously he's one of your best friends, I would imagine. And you're going to see how you can tell that you're really good friends. But this project is a little bit, how can I put it? It's personal to you. Because in the music, I'm going to come out and say it, you had a bit of a rough year. Health-wise.
I've had the worst and best year in my life mixed up into 1 year.
Wow.
So it's been like a roller coaster of emotions, of stress, of a whole bunch of things. It started with my kid getting sick, and he was in the hospital for a long time. And then I got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Jeez.
And yeah, it was just up and down, but I found friends. I found the Loudmouth. They were there for me. I had family that was there for me. I had Tony who was there for me. I had people that were there for me and had my back. My kids were there for me. And I had great doctors and survived it, and I'm here. So it's been a roller coaster, and music really helped me get through it. Playing live while I had a chemo bottle.
Are you serious?
And got up on stage. The guys, I had chemo in the morning. We went to play McKibben's, and the guys were on stage like this, like, we're gonna catch you if you fall. But I wanted to be on stage because I didn't want to be home. I wanted to play and do it, and music really got me through a lot of that stuff, and the friendship and Tony and writing together. And when I got out of it and started feeling better, which wasn't too long ago, probably last October, we talked and said, let's get back into writing music. And it's just been a roller coaster of ideas, like just coming out. We've probably, like we talked about it, we've probably written 5 or 6 songs already in the last 4 months. And they're not all great. We think they're great. We love them. Yeah. But they're just coming out one after the other.
So
right
you're gonna release one.
Yeah. And we're just gonna keep releasing every month and writing and just keep the process going.
So the song we're gonna watch now, we're gonna air it here on, and it just came out. It's a couple of weeks. Well,
The King actually just came out on the 15th, the day
yeah.
after
So when it
Valentine's.
airs, it's gonna be out like a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I heard it's a fantastic song. I'm gonna air it here, but a lot of this. So, I mean, we're gonna talk about it with Tony as well, but his lyrics were inspired. It's kind of like your story through his eyes, if I understood.
He was
The
there,
third person.
Third person, but it's just about the song's about being dealt a bad hand and coming out a winner, and
Hence the King.
that's the King.
Yeah.
And I came out a winner in the end. I got my health. I've got my family. I've got myself.
Everything's 100% like.
So far, so good. Yeah, I keep getting tested every 3 months. God's going to decide my fate.
Wow.
But so far, I'm good. Live happy, live with a smile on my face.
That's
I enjoy
amazing.
every sunset, every sunrise,
Amazing,
and
man.
we just keep going.
Wow.
But yeah, talking about the song, he wrote the lyrics, and when we touched about it yesterday, but when I sent him the music and he wrote it back to me, the first thing I said, like, who are you talking about? And I felt it, and he felt it in singing it, and the passion, and the way the music came out, like, it was easy to express ourselves in the song. Because he was there with me the whole time. He was living in Windsor, but we were texting every day. He was checking up on me, calling me all the time, him and his wife, making sure I was good through the whole process.
Oh my
so
God.
he knows my life just as well as I know his life.
My God.
So it was fun.
And
It was
so
good.
you went on. I need to touch this again. You fucking went on stage the day you had chemotherapy.
It was my first chemo, and we got a call. I'm in the chair. I'm strapped to the bottles, and Graham calls like, "Can you play tonight, McKibbin's? Where I have a band that canceled." I said, "I'm not sure. Like, I'm getting chemo right now, but if I feel good at 5 o'clock, I will play." So I called the guys up and like, "Guys, I really want to play," and they're like, "No, dude, you're getting chemo." So we went, we played. The guys were great. Like I said, they were really there for me. They set up everything. I didn't carry one thing inside. Like they took care of everything. And Sonny pretty well sang the whole night, just looking at me like ready to catch me if I would fall.
so
They came to pick me up. They wouldn't let me drive. So
Wow.
they really took care of me. And a lot of the gigs that we played, like I played through a lot of the process while chemo, and they would come pick me up. They wouldn't let me drive. They wouldn't let me set up. They did all the stuff. Like they were really, really good.
Wow.
So,
that is. And
It's a brotherhood, right? Being in a band is with a brotherhood.
Music is music.
You
is
take care of
passion.
each other.
Oh wow, that I love to hear that. That's and you know what? We need more of fucking that.
That's one thing about Loudmouth and bands that I've been in, and haven't been in too many bands, but it's about we have a brotherhood, we have a friendship, we have a loyalty. Like the guys are really good to me. We all love each other, we all respect each other, and I have that same friendship with Tone, and that's why I think we've been friends for 35 years.
That is amazing. Wow, that is amazing.
Playing music for 35 years.
There's something about music.
Yep, there is. It connects you.
You know that when a fucking musician, a talented musician, gets a call in the fucking chair with a chemo bottle,
My dad gave me shit the next day when he found out.
and you say, "I'm gonna be on stage." Fuck.
He called me up. He goes, "What'd you do last night?" I said, "I ended up playing." He's like, "What are you doing? Greek father."
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I'm like, listen, I could have been home crying on my couch, or I could have been on stage with my friends and playing and loving life.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Wow.
But
Hats off to you. Man.
There's, what does Shorzy say? We're going to go till we can't go no more.
Yeah.
I'm going to play till I can't play no more.
Fucking right, man.
That's,
I love it.
That's the passion about music.
I will drink to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
Yes.
to that, man. Cheers to that. Guys, without further ado, let's dive into the song.
Sure.
Let's check it out. Let's air this video, the song, watch it, and see what we're talking about. See the passion that is behind this song. So let's go, and here we go.
Fools play their part to the end, but I played the cards I was dealt. I made some mistakes, but I wouldn't say I've got too many regrets. Love got nothing to do with the deal. Put all of my money on me, 'cause going all in ain't no sin when you're hiding an ace up your sleeve. The tell is you kept on looking at him. The The odds didn't favor you when I said I'd win. I'd win. I'm stone cold. That love don't live here anymore. The queen falls, the king takes back the heart you stole. It's safe to say you can't hurt me no more. You gambled and then came up short, and I take no pleasure in knowing you still lost it all. The cards have been dealt, the die has been cast. There's no key for the lock from the door to the past. Was ready to fall till you shuffled the deck. Two aces of good, now I'm back from the dead. I'm stone cold. That love don't live here anymore. The queen falls, the king takes back the heart you stole. Yeah. I'm stone cold. That love don't live here anymore. The queen falls, the king takes back the heart, takes back the heart, takes back the heart you stole.
So guys, that was The King. I mean, what a song, what a video.
I got to give kudos to Tone for his performance, his vocals.
What a performance, honestly.
He just sings it. And what I like about that song is, we touched on this yesterday, he just gave it his all. Like you can feel the growl
You
in
can
his
feel it,
voice.
yeah.
There's a part in the song when we were writing the music, and at the end where we kind of repeat the thing 3 times, The King, and I sent it to him and I wrote him, I said, when you listen to the end, you know what to do. He's like, what do you mean? I said, you're going to know what you have to sing at the end.
Okay.
On the repeat. And he goes, okay. And then he sang it back to me, sent it to me. And it was like what I wanted him to do, just to keep building it and building it and building it. And he just brought it right at the end. You feel the power in his voice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel, and
Yeah.
all of it, the songwriting, the guitar playing, the music, the production behind it, and his voice. Man, it all hits. It hits perfectly.
It's funny because you're talking about the guitar playing. That solo was the 3rd take.
Okay.
So I was just playing around with the sound, and I just started improvising, and that was the 3rd take.
Wow.
And I did about another 40 takes after, and none of them had that same feel. So I just kept that 3rd one.
Absolutely. That's the way to do
It wasn't a lot of notes. It wasn't really complicated. It had the right feel. And I
so
kept
amazing with digital technology now, eh?
But
you can keep 40 takes.
That's it.
Back in 20, 30 years ago, that reel to reel, you're like, oh my God,
No,
this is
this-
costing me a
yeah,
shitload of money. Let's rewind
But
it.
this is just go rewind.
Fuck
But
it,
it's
keep
funny.
40 of them.
It was the 3rd one that just fit right. That it was there.
I know guys that keep they keep their sound check. Like as they're testing their sound, they keep it all recorded just in case they want to add something to it. It's weird because it costs nothing. It's nothing. It's there, so you just keep it. But anyway,
It's data.
so you know what? I mean, especially after that performance that we just saw, let's go meet Tony. Let's have our Zoom with Tony, and let's come back to this right after that Zoom. Great.
Hey guys, we're here. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. So this is it's obviously a different sessions with Stef. Usually we're all live, but now we've added a 3rd member here to the conversation. And we just finished watching the video. So we'd like to welcome Tony Marcello. Welcome to Sessions with Stef.
Thank you.
D, you've been talking to me for the last little while now, theoretically.
Second time too.
Yeah, and so we've just watched the video, The King. I see that you lead vocals. is all done by you, Tony. And now we're gonna let's have some talk about, because I love the song. I found the video was really well put together. I don't know who takes care of which part. If you guys do all of it yourselves, if you have someone doing the video, I can imagine that the songwriting is done together, and the recording is all done together, like bits and pieces. But so, Tony, give us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about yourself, what you do, and how you are part of the Far Removed, and what you do with in this project.
Yeah, no, will do. And thanks for having us, Stefano.
Oh my God, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, a little bit of background. Dionysios and I go way back 35 years. We just did the calculation. And we started out playing in bands together in Ontario and Manitoba and toured around kind of the B-level stuff. But within that, we always wanted to write. We always liked writing. We had instant chemistry. We'd always write songs. Actually, before we even were in a band together, he would be like, we kind of cross paths. Hey, you want to sing on this song? You want to write some lyrics? Say, D, can you write me some music for this? Because he had that sort of musical pedigree, which I had too, but not in the strength that he does, right? But being a singer and playing different instruments, we kind of connected musically really like that. And then our families connected. We became longtime friends. We lived in different cities, so we kind of had to wait for technology to catch up. Is the story. And we started this in 2010, our writing project. It was actually called 2010 AD, Antonio and Dionysios.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. That name was cornier, so we went even for a cornier name, which is the Far Removed, because we were like, well, how do we get the point across? So we're never in the same room these days, because I'm in Southern Ontario, he's in Montreal. But long story short is that we do all these writing projects, we come up with ideas, and we just ship them back and forth. Sometimes he sends me a few bars, I'll chop it up, send it back to him with some vocals on it. And we write fast. I mean, sometimes a song will come together in 48 hours from inception to finished product. It's just
wow.
we can write 5 songs in a week, and then we go for a month and don't write anything. So I typically do handle all the vocals, and write all the lyrics, and I compose too, because I play accordion, keyboards, guitar, bass. But my ideas are very rough. Yeah, I'm an Italian boy, so I started on accordion for 10 years, right?
Oh
So
my
it lends
God.
to a lot of different instruments. But yeah,
That
I
is
usually
funny.
yeah,
You know
most
why?
Italian.
Well,
Why?
my dad is like an accordion player, but he was I don't want to say he's a legend. He's not a legend, but in Montreal, I think he taught pretty much. There was two accordion teachers that were known in Montreal, and he was definitely one of them. And he must have he used to have like 60, 70 students at a time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
my
believe
dad
it. I
was
believe
the
it.
president of the Montreal Association of Accordionists.
And you know
So
what? It's not an instrument that's super cool and trendy, but I will say, like, and he probably tell you the same thing. It lends to a lot of different
oh shit,
instruments,
yeah,
because then I learned to play piano, played guitar, played some bass. In high school, I played the cello. But
wow,
where I was going with that is, I'm de-studied more formally in theory, so my ideas are typically rough. I try to keep it like chords and either piano or guitar, or maybe sometimes some beats. But I like to then ship that idea off to him, because he really excels on the production side now over all these years of just trying so many things. Like if I say I want this to sound like a Dua Lipa dance song, he'll record it like that, right? So
wow, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So master producer, and then I'm the idea and lyric guy
Okay,
typically.
cool. Well, you know what? It's all important. You can't have one
Yeah.
without the other, right? So,
Agreed.
so that's
We've developed something we like to call it music telepathy, because I'll send him a piece of music, or he'll send me something, and he'll come up with lyrically and melodically something along the lines of what I was thinking, and we kind of complete each other's thought when it comes to music. He comes up the melodies, and then I come up with the color and cover everything around. But we always like kind of listen to each other and really respect each other's opinion when it comes to stuff. Like I'll send him something, and he'll be like, this doesn't work for me, and we just put it in the G file, and we never hear from it again. But we really have this great communication that we've developed online, not being in the same room, where we kind of feel each other's musical ability and what we can come up with.
Okay, wow, I mean, you did stand the test of time, right? So 35 years of friendship,
Yeah,
musical friendship, because you know what? It's important to kind of, it's like a musical journey. And if you always deal with the same people, you know, your musical paths kind of follow each other. And so your ideas kind of, you're always in the same place, ideally. You know what I mean? Like your ideas are kind of, if you're feeling grunge, well, he kind of knows where you're going grunge or Dua Lipa or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's funny because we've like D kind of referred to it like this. We've developed a thick skin. It makes it a little bit hard to work with some other musicians. I play in a cover band. He plays in a cover band, and I'm not speaking for you, D, but because I don't know the guys in Loudmouth. He knows the guys in the band I play with, and they're great. It's just occasionally like you can't like with him. I can just say I don't like that,
Yeah,
and there's no offense taken. Or if he says to me, no, Tone, that vocal line, I liked when you did this. I mean, we're not that blunt, but we can be very honest with each other. There's no hurt feelings, and it's always for the betterment of the song, betterment, like even to the extent where I'm like, I don't like the way that snare drum sound. Can you give it a little more pop? Or, I like the way you sang this. Can you give me more of that feel?
yeah,
So you have to develop that trust, otherwise you won't get beyond. You'll never write something that you, and then we sit back and say, you know what? I love that. Like
yeah.
that came together so nicely at the end. So it's a
I
lot of
think
pride.
I think if especially when you're writing music, partnerships are hard for that reason. Like you need to be able to say and not hold back. It could be the tiniest thing, like you said. You know, the kick. I like it a little bit more round than. And if the other guy hates it, you need to find the middle ground. But it's
Yeah.
hard to be happy at that point, right? Because
it's
you know, if I want a fat
it,
kick and I don't get it, I'm like, yeah, I might be a baby, and you know, and it's good
Yeah.
that you guys find a way to make it work because that's hard. It's very hard, man.
I think well,
the
I think D will tell you. Go ahead, D. Sorry.
the funny thing is, as we get older, our hearing starts to change. So I've lost a lot of my low frequencies, and Tom's lost a lot of his high frequencies. So when we're ever mixing, it's like more high end, and I'm like, no, more bottom end, more high end. And then we kind of figure it out. Then we're like, okay, it's great. If it's good for you, we
Oh,
got it
just
right in
It's
the
a good
middle.
balance.
sometimes he'll send me a mix and I'll say, D, did you mix that in your headphones because the kids were around or something? Because I know when he does because I get it and I'm in we always go to our car like Eddie Van
Yeah,
Halen used to do. You got to go to
Yeah.
car.
gotta go to the car.
Anyways, and the kick in the bottom end and the bass blows me away. And I'm like, whoa, okay, like where did that end?
So funny.
But it is funny, yeah, like the trust has to be there, and I think it allows us to work quicker and faster and cross all kinds of genres. Like like I sent them, I send almost country stuff sometimes because I listen to a ton of different music, like from Latin and opera all the way to country music. I love country music. And
Mhm.
then where D's more a little bit more traditional and into pop, a lot of pop too, but songwriter type bands, the script, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's just, yeah, we're all over the map when we write. It's crazy.
Which
yeah,
is funny because we had taken a break for about 2 years from writing. He had stuff going on in his life. I had stuff going on in my life. So right after that, we talked about it over the summer. Said, we've got to get back into writing again. So he's like, "Do you have any ideas? Anything going on?" I said, "I've got this one piece of music that I kind of like, but," and I sent it to him, and the guitar part was the same. The guitar melody was there, which was in the King, but
yeah.
the background was a little bit of like System of a Down.
Oh,
So he kind of heard, yeah, it was way different. And he's like, I like the guitar, but I kind of hear it going different. I said, okay, I'll send you a stripped down version, only the guitar. And about 2 hours later, I get an email, and he's got the first melody, like that first verse, going into the chorus. And I'm like, yeah, I like
wow.
that. I know exactly where you want to go. So I think the King was done in 4 days from start to finish.
Oh,
Like
wow.
everything was done. Yeah, it was done pretty quick. We were going back and forth on ideas, and sometimes when that ball starts to roll down that hill, you have to feel it out, and you just got to keep going, and just get it all down. It took us a little while to mix after, but the bones of the song, everything was done in about 4 days.
Oh, and I think while we were mixing, he sent me another melody for a song we put out already called Four Letter World. And we wrote that in between because we'll put one on pause and then finish the other one, released it first, went back to the King, which was really just finishing touches. And in the meantime, I'm like, we got into a role in the last month. I can say since December to now, we literally wrote and finished 5 full songs, and probably I think there's a 6th in there that don't know if we'll actually end up doing or other artists will, and 3 or 4 other ideas percolating.
Wow.
Once the ideas roll with us, and especially when we find, like, we're kind of, so used to be a lot of traditional, I would say, kind of in the earlier days, like when we started writing, we were writing more like
Chris Daughtry,
yeah, Daughtry,
kind of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
which was good, right? Then we started writing for other people, and we really got into the pop because it was like we're writing for women and young guys that sound like Shawn Mendes, people that were on The Voice, and then it was got really pop oriented. But I could never sing it. Like if I tried to do the demos, they just sounded like garbage because I just don't have that kind of Justin Bieber voice. And when
Gotcha.
we put it with other people, it sounded great. When we got back to writing for us, because we, as Dee said, we've both been through a bit of a roller coaster the last few years. We just wanted to explore the sound. And what's happening now is we're dabbling in this, so what I call soul pop. It's a bit bluesy, it's a bit rock, it's got some pop. It's like, there's guys like Chris Stapleton, Teddy Swims, Adele on the female side.
Yeah.
You can't really categorize them. Hosier is a good one.
Yeah.
Too Sweet. You don't really know what that genre is, but it's cool and it's groovy and it's bluesy a little bit. And that's where we're starting to find our lane that sounds really like us now. So
Wow. Well, yeah, I think so. The song itself gave me exactly what you said, that vibe of a little bit of blues. It's not like a heavy blues, obviously, but a little bit of blues, rock, pop, all mixed in like a minestrone, like all thrown in there. And it's you know what, well mixed. It's also written, I found, for your
Thank you.
like your voice. Like I find your voice. It's I look at songwriters and I look at David Foster, and he's amazing.
Mhm.
But what I like about him is that he writes for the artist. So he'll write a song, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say not what he likes, because I'm sure he likes it all, but he kind of caters the song for the artists to make the artist sound as good as possible. Like he doesn't always write a Michael Bublé song. Like if he's writing for, Celine Dion, he's not writing a Michael Bublé song. And I found this song was extremely well written so that your vocals come out and hit you. Like it's got just the right amount of oomph that sounds great with your voice. I find the mix really good. So hats off.
I appreciate that. And like as you can hear when you're talking to me, like in my cover band, like I do a ton of Journey. I actually will say I'm a good Journey mimic because I have a very nasally voice, and I also have what I like to refer to as a charcoal smooth.
There you go. Yeah.
Not a silky smooth, right? So it's a different sound. And one thing Dee will tell you, like when I sing, I want to get the feeling across. Like I will change words and enunciate things differently because I just want the feeling. Because to me, guys like Chris Stapleton, guys like Teddy Swims, and even some of the country guys that are out there, like they're making you feel.
100%.
And the pop stuff it doesn't always do that. We're big fans of One Republic, which is a great pop band, but
Yeah.
it's very like polished all the way across the board. I mean, Ryan Tedder's a great singer. So.
I think one thing with Tony is he can really connect emotionally, especially because he writes the lyrics, and he can connect with the story after. Like we work with other artists and they all sang really good, and sometimes we haven't been able to get the emotion out of them as much as we tried. They sing it great, but they just don't carry that emotion. And I like to call it the tingle. But when we finish writing and kind of heard it, and we kind of get that little tingle in the back of the neck where the hairs go up, and he did a good job singing it, and everything came together. So we really push when we're writing to get that tingle, and if we don't achieve it sometimes musically or vocally, like we keep going back until we get that right feel that we just feel people can connect with the song after.
So yeah, I mean, Chris Stapleton, the song Tennessee Whiskey. two chords, right? It's all feel. The whole song, like it's, A, B minor seven, the whole way through, man. But he sings it with such a, obviously he's a great singer, but it's the feeling you get when he's singing it, and he's conveying his message, and that's what makes it an amazing song. It's played every day by every band, and everyone wants to hear it because it's all about the feel. So if that's what you guys are working to get, you got it with the King for sure.
Thank you.
And it's
And that's why he's a superstar, right?
yeah. Well, you know what? There's a lot of superstars, and your song, I loved it. I really did. I felt it, and that's
Thank
what
you.
a song does. It doesn't matter who's famous, who's not. It's I feel it's a lot of it's the luck of the draw. We have so much talent that goes unnoticed.
A little insight into the song, which is so we discussed earlier that both of us had a couple things going on in our lives.
Uh-huh.
So when I sent the music up to Tony, and he sent it back to me, and I listened to the lyrics, and I was like, "Who'd you write that song about?" And he's like, "Well, because he basically wrote about my life, about my last year. So I had, some things going on." And I'm like, you wrote about my life better than I could have written about my life. That's what kind of friendship we have. So
Wow.
there's a lot of feeling in those lyrics because, he's been a part of my life for a long time. And in the last 2 years, he's even been closer. So, he connected to my story, and we connected to that story.
That's amazing.
So it really feels good, and a lot of the lyrics, yeah, it holds a lot of meaning to me in this song.
Yeah, and
That's
you know what?
amazing.
It's really lyrically too. I mean, lyrically, it's funny because the song started out one way, and sometimes, we write a song and it's happy and it's too happy for the music, and then sometimes you write a song and the lyrics are a bit too negative. And in this song, like that's kind of what I was trying to do. Like I wanted, like when I say roller coaster, I've been with it, but I haven't been through what Dee's been through. So I haven't been on that journey, but I've been a bystander on the journey. So sometimes the third eye perspective is a little different. And it's what's funny about it, it's meant to be empowering because the way I see it is like, you put all your chips in and you go in. And I work in the gambling industry, funny, oddly, so I can draw a lot of reference, but you go all in on yourself and you come out the king. You came out stronger at the end. And that's all anybody wants at the end. And I just thought it was an empowering way to kind of say it, like as a card game almost.
Wow. But you know what?
The queen being the bitch of life, really,
Yeah,
right?
true. 100%. Wow. And so you got inspiration from what Dee is going through, basically.
Oh, geez. I mean, we write the best when we are under pressure and duress. Like, we wrote an album about 13 years ago called Breathe and Release. And the album, what my mother was dying of brain cancer, and she lasted 2 years, which was very long. Same thing Gord Downey had from the Tragically Hip,
Yeah.
but you usually don't. And it gave us all kinds of inspiration. But the breathe and release became our motto because it was just like, okay, just breathe and release. Like that's all we could do. And so I've been through it. He's been through. Just like there's a million. Everybody's been through it. It's articulating it in a way that's maybe different sometimes, right?
Yeah. Well, it's articulating it your way.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can do it as songwriters and as musicians. Because if you try to do it any other way, it doesn't work.
And the best part about doing it your way is when you connect, even if we might not connect with a million people because we're not at that stage, but we have connected with, a group of people. Or I remember we wrote a song called I Gotta Know That You're With Me. And we got a text message from somebody saying that her and her friend who was going through cancer at the time would listen to this song all the time together, and they were inspired, and the song helped them connect together.
Wow.
And that song was written with us about friendship and having that bond too. So when somebody else connects to that song that you've written, it makes you feel good. It gives you that power after. It gives you that, I want to write more. I want to do
Absolutely.
it again.
You know what though, Dee? Having said that though, like I will say this, it becomes draining in a way because it's therapeutic and it's cathartic and you get this stuff out of your basement, as they say. But then right after that, this is funny because we wrote that, we were putting the finishing touches on it, and I'm walking to the gym because in Windsor, we don't, even in December, you can usually still walk. But anyways, and I'm just humming this thing like just like the poppiest, like I don't know if you ever heard the song Cake by the Ocean by DNCE, but
Oh,
that
yeah.
that kind of a vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, and it's the stupidest song called Chocolate Covered Swirl that's just fun and poppy and disco, and it's our next release.
Oh,
And
good.
we needed to do that because the other one was heavy, and it's like we gotta like we need some fun in our lives, and so
Yeah.
we'll probably put. I was just saying to D, we'll probably release that for a summer fun. So it's honestly just about having fun and dancing with your girl, or
Wow.
chocolate cover a chocolate a reference to chocolate. It's fun,
That's amazing.
but
That's what music is. It's all about
yeah,
it's all, some people used to do albums in a certain vein, and some people just want to get through all the emotions because, they've done it for 6 months. So every day was a different emotion, and that's what they wrote about. And so you can catch one album, you can have five different types of emotions, or they were just in a, bad place or a good place. And one, it could be an album of just fun. Let's just fucking have some rock and roll and have some
yeah.
fun. And other times it could be, a deep part in your life where you want to get it all out in different ways. And
And
so,
sometimes my wife, because she worries all the time, but sometimes it's not even our story. Sometimes I like to peek in to the
yeah,
third party, like be the observer in a something I've never even experienced. But what would it be
100%.
like, in this scenario? What would I feel like? What would it be like? And so a lot of times we've never even, it's just you're imagining like a story writer. So I tell you, it's very therapeutic for me, and I'm sure he gets the same. I always ask him, he's like, well, I didn't really listen to the lyrics yet, but I know he goes back. Well, I think it's the last thing D does. Like I think
Yeah,
because he processes things in music terms. So for
yeah.
him, it's like literally we'll do 10 revisions and he'll be like, well, I didn't really listen to the lyrics yet. And I'm like, bro, come on. Like
That's
that's the
because he
most
trusts
central.
you. It's because he trusts
Yeah, I
you.
think so.
Because he's
Maybe.
I
like, yeah,
that I know, but by the time we get to the 10th revision, he's changed them again. So I have to wait to the end, right? Because they keep getting tweaked. So I'm not going to start liking them in the beginning because
yeah,
I know they're going to get changed.
yeah. Don't
On
get too
But when
average,
this,
attached.
it's funny that you say that though, because I'll do like a ghost vocal, a quick one. I usually end up singing these songs, like The King, for example. I think I'll go back to it, but I did it four separate times. Like I'll go back, and then the fourth time was like, okay, this is the final vocal track with the final lyrics, because I need to
Yeah,
rehear it and tweak it.
for
So
sure. Yeah, that's
nice thing about having your own studios, you do as many takes as you
yeah,
want, right?
exactly, exactly. So you guys used to gig a while back. I mean, with a friendship like that, musicians for sure, you must have had tons of gigs together.
when I joined the band, the band was midpoint. They were looking for a guitar player and a drummer. They had just lost. And I was with a drummer, and our band didn't work out. And our drummer, it's actually Tone's wife, is his sister. So we had that
Oh,
connection. That's how we had met. So we were living in Winnipeg. We moved to Sault Ste. Marie. We joined the band. We started playing. We were playing for about 4 years on the road, Northern Ontario circuit, bars every week, having fun. We had some opportunities. We opened up for some Canadian bands, small venues. We opened up for Fleetwood Mac and Survivor one time, which was really, really
sweet.
cool. So
Wow.
we were out there having a good time. But the one thing that we did back then, Tone and I, we really wanted to focus on writing. So we started writing early. Like we were one of those bands that we had a CD. We had to go out and get a CD. There wasn't any
Nail it out.
graphic artist. There wasn't any graphic artist where you could do it on your computer by yourself. You had to go hire somebody. You have to go to the studio. We recorded with Harold Hess from Harem Scarum. He had a studio near
Okay.
Toronto. Uh, we did a 6-song EP. We had to save money and then go out and promote it and do all the things.
But you
And
know what? Our timing was shit because we I think that some of the music was strong, but we came out right at the end, like it was probably 90. Guns N' Roses had just come out, but then everything flipped to a couple of years later, flipped to the grunge
The
scene.
grunge stuff.
So
Yeah.
Nirvana, and which we were big fans of.
Ner-
And yet we tried to write like that. We tried to jump into that genre, and it just wasn't our bag. It
yeah,
wasn't our scene. Like we were melodic. We grew up with the Bon Jovi,
Yeah.
Deep Purple, a lot of the classic rock,
Yeah.
and the newer, Poison, embarrassingly, but all the
Skid
hair
Row,
rock stuff, Scorpion.
yeah,
Scorpions,
yeah.
Skid Row.
So,
Yeah.
the tour, yeah, like all of it, and that's kind of what we wrote like. But and we were big, huge Extreme fans too at the
Oh,
time, but
are you
it all
serious?
fizzled. So oh man,
We still are.
we just saw Extreme at Casino Rama, one of the casinos I manage, and we got into their sound check. They brought us into sound check.
I did the same
We got
thing.
there's a picture of, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good, right? You got to
I,
be a VIP member to
I
do
got
that.
the VIP.
But
I did it.
they're
Yeah.
up, yeah, they're up on the stage, but same thing. They invite you in they
Yeah.
were fantastic, and I remembered why we loved them so much because they're
Yeah.
so good, right? Like,
Nuno is great. Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God, he's
Amazing.
God. Nuno's God.
Yeah. Oh my
But see,
God.
this all this influence goes into it. But what's funny about it is we don't. You also evolve, and one of the things I was saying to D, and I believe this wholeheartedly. I have a lot of musician friends. Not a lot of them write. A lot of cover band musicians, but the ones that do write, very few of them that are our age, and we're in our 50s, our early 50s now. But they don't evolve. They
Yeah.
got stuck in that time warp. And what's I think different and unique about us is that because we started writing pop music and having to listen to Justin Bieber and Pink and Maroon 5 and all these other bands, we started to have to learn what they break down. How are they writing music? A pop song can't be more than three minutes. We by 60 seconds we got to be at the chorus, and we're always trying to do a very like we very much understand the pop formula now, and so we're able to apply some of that to the older melodic stuff, and it works for us. The problem is now, it's just it's hard to get exposure because the music industry is so corporate, but in a way, Spotify is great because we got our last song at 15,000, 16,000 streams, which is great. Like,
Wow. Great. That's
so
amazing.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good around the world for an independent couple of guys from Montreal and Windsor.
Absolutely. Yeah. Would you ever be considering to do like a little tour of some of the stuff you did? Put a little band together.
For the 5 people that would come out and see us, yeah.
But you know what, D and I, so it's funny because we were able to get together and play. So we
If
did
you if you come, Steph, it's going to be 6. So
I'll be
we're
there,
good.
man. I'll be there. I will absolutely be there.
we did a song that a young gentleman friend of ours from I think he lives in Los Angeles now. He was on one of the contestants on The Voice, did it, and we came to Toronto. We met some guys, and we recorded a TV show. So D and I got to play together, and then he actually came up to play a show with me and my cover band. Two
Okay.
years, was it last summer or the summer
Yeah,
before?
the summer
So
before.
he filled in, he flew up to Sault Ste. Marie. We were playing a show way up there, and he filled in, and he's on the list. If my guitar player, actually almost filled in for Loudmouth one gig because I don't know when they first started when in the transition phase, but
Yeah.
Sonny
Wow.
came through, thankfully. And I love these guys. I'm a fan. I was like, "Do you gotta play, man. Your talent is wasted, and it will bring new life to the music you write. You got to get out there and play."
Yeah,
And
for
I'm glad he
sure.
did.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I had all the guys on the podcast a while back, and
Yeah.
amazing guys. You guys sound great from what I see on social media and stuff. You guys sound great. Keep it up, man. It's gigging is fun, right?
It's
And
fun,
I'm
yeah.
sure you gig quite a bit. Do you guys have stories like as friends? You call each other and say, "Oh my God, you know what happened? Are you ready to come down this weekend because my singer all of a sudden can't do it or whatever it may be?"
Yeah. Well, I couldn't. Yeah, their music has varied a lot now over what the set list I learned. But I think Dee's always got like we recorded my last show that I played, and I sent it to him like, keep this on the back burner because our guitar player is an optometrist, and he's got some. Sometimes it's hard for him to travel, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we like I'll call him up every like, how's the gig going? How's it going? Like, what are you guys doing? How'd the show go? And he does the same thing to me. He's like, how's the show? You guys have a lot of people. It's just great because we're both also supporting each other outside of the band.
For sure.
So,
Yeah. For sure. For
and
sure.
I haven't met the guys yet, but I'm dying to come to Montreal and meet them because that's like they look like they're having fun. They look like the fun is infectious. They play songs people want to hear. The women are dancing. The guys are having like that's what
Yeah.
it's all about, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And where, I mean, where do you gig with your cover band? Like, what kind of same
Yeah.
style, like pubs and stuff like
Um,
that?
a little different. No, so that's kind of where we started. The band's called the Killer Hooks. We started doing that, but then we kind of evolved more into like what I want to call is a specialty act in the sense that not a tribute act, but We put video. So basically what we do is we do two 90-minute sets of all the songs we do is it's everything that's got like the biggest, like anything from Bruno Mars to Maroon 5 to Journey to Daft Punk, but we do it in sync to the videos the whole time. So
Okay.
like you're watching Steve Perry behind me in sync to everything, right? And so that's now starting to take on a bit of a life where we'll do more like events, corporate events and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
gotcha.
only 4 or 5 times a year. We don't play a lot actually.
Is it a big band?
No, just 4 piece.
Okay, four piece, cool. Tracks, I guess you have you run tracks and you run
Yeah, we got the
like
tracks all set up for that because it's just there's, as you guys know, like there's not a ton of money in music these days. So we program everything ourselves, get everything ready, do the video. Like it's like the same thing as recording, right? I think you asked this earlier. Who does all this stuff? Well, we do it, and we're good at the writing part, but we're not always good at the marketing part. You know, D and I struggle, like we do the video ourselves, so we're not cinematographers. D put the King together. I recorded it mainly in my backyard. I literally went out there with a guitar and set it up in front of the fireplace I built and said,
Great.
you know what? At least they'll get to see who we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it works. But I mean, because again, budgets, it's how much money do you pour into these things when
Yeah.
you are not generating a ton of revenue on your music? And we have day jobs, obviously, too, right?
Yeah.
So
I know tons of artists that pour a lot of money as well. And you know what they end up being? Not, I don't want to say they end up being in the same spot, but I feel that the money is part of it, but it doesn't change that you could pour 20. I know guys that have put 20, 30, they put like six, $7,000 every song. And that's not even in the production. They put that into the marketing after. And they're in the same, we're all in the same boat. Sometimes we get lucky and a song might hit or get streams or, you know,
That's
that's the game. That's the game.
it's unfortunate the industry right now. There are a lot of good artists. There's a lot of good music out there. Like you can just go on Spotify and randomly pick some band you've never heard, and there's great music out there. There's bad music too, but there's so much of it right now, and it's really hard to crack the market. And the one thing that with music right now, something that was hot a year ago disappears.
It,
You don't hear it
oh, yeah,
again.
the
It
shelf
doesn't have that. It doesn't have that longevity because there's too much music. There's too much things going on, and our span to get it all in is very limited, short. So it comes in and it goes out, and it's only the big acts that get the radio support on the radio, the payola, whatever it is,
but does
that
it
are
work with
always on
radio
there.
support? Like, does the radio support
no, I
work
don't. I was
nowadays?
gonna. I like not so much radio anymore. But one thing, if you want to find out what the trend is, and I just really came to this recently, just scroll through TikTok and you'll know exactly what's hot. There's a song right now out there by a female artist from Britain called Lola Young called Messy. And every time you scroll, there's the famous people dancing to her song, like people like, the Kardashians. So like this is kind of how it works. Somebody hears something catchy and they're an influencer or a celebrity and they make it go viral. Now, truthfully, great song.
Yeah.
It's as good as a lot of songs out there, but she had the fortune now of some celebrities catching on to it, and now she's all over the US. She just played, it was on Jimmy Fallon. That Teddy Swim, same thing. The guy was a social media singing, and again, very talented, but
Covers. He was doing covers.
Yeah,
Yep,
you
he
gotta,
did a really good version of "Don't Stop Believing." It's one of the first times I've seen him sing,
and like
Yeah,
a
and
Whitney
he did.
Houston too, I think,
Yeah,
right? Didn't
yeah,
he do
and he
Shania?
killed it, and that's where he got his start from.
But I think what record companies want today is think about it from their perspective, right? You build your own following by going viral on social media. If you come to a record company with a decent image and decent songs, and you already got a couple of 100,000 followers, you've already done three-quarters of the work for them.
Yeah.
So the marketing is much less, and that's really what it is. Like, how do you go viral? I think it's like the equivalent of somebody walking into a bar and seeing Van Halen at the whiskey 30 years ago or 40 years ago.
Yeah, but
going
to go viral and all like the social media, influencers, it's a lot of work. It's almost more work than fucking recording an album.
Oh yeah.
So where do you, so if you're spending time going viral or creating content, where the fuck are you going to have the time to do the music? Like you can't do both.
That's one thing we've always discussed because we start writing. So we started writing a couple songs, then we start getting caught up. We do our own video, so that takes time. Then we
Yeah.
start doing our own marketing. Then all of a sudden, like we forgot to stop. We're not writing any music anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
put that all on hold. Start writing again. Then we start the process again, trying to market it, trying to do the video, and that
It,
starts taking time. So it's this
it's not our
vicious cycle.
it's not our forte. And we say it all the time. It's like, you know what? I'd just rather be writing music. I actually have a marketing background, but I don't want to spend my time. We got to do some content for this song. Because number one, we're not viral kind of guys. We're not 17, 18-year-old kids. And so I think a lot of bands are in our situation. They write great music, they got great image, great look. The ones that know how to turn, especially my son is a great songwriter, has great music, young kid, he's 29, 20, 27, 28, sorry,
Wow.
around that age, but he doesn't even know how to go, like, he's trying to unlock that, like,
Well, because
because
everyone that age is trying to, right? So
exactly,
it's not there's 10 million doing. So yeah,
yeah.
you know what
And
happens?
then a Fleetwood Mac song will go viral
Yeah,
because somebody was
Yeah.
skateboarding down the road to.
true. I noticed
Sorry.
that a lot of the talent, like my cover band, I play in a corporate band as well.
Mhm.
I play in a bunch of bands, but this one here, like I've ran through a lot of singers, and there's some singers like you look at them online and their content is amazing. But because they're so busy doing content, when they get on stage, they don't have enough stage experience. So, like, right, if you guys, let's say you hit a song right now. Let's say the King goes and hundreds of thousands of views. Jimmy Fallon calls you and says,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, I want you on." You guys, have done the time. You've been on stage. You could put this thing together and do 3 songs on the Jimmy Fallon show, and you'll fucking kill, right?
Oh yeah, we'd light it up.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas the content creators now, the singers today spend more time on creating the content that vocally they haven't been on stage enough. They haven't practiced enough. They haven't blown their voice so that if when they do go, now they're nervous. They're not used to playing in front of people. They're used to doing it in front of a camera. So they get on stage and they bottle up and they're not, something goes wrong, they're cooked. And there goes their chance. So, we need to find a balance somehow in the business. I don't know how, but
Yeah.
it's
Well, this
weird.
is what you're doing. What you're doing helps. I mean, because you're helping to promote music and it's appreciated. I'm sure all the artists that you have on here appreciate it because this is, people will watch and then you might get 2 or 3 new followers. Every follower counts, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like promoting music. It's important. We need to promote music. I'm not in it to make. I'm not trying to go viral. I mean, obviously, if it hits and it goes, cool. But I mean, I enjoy talking about music. Like listening to your story
Yeah.
intrigues me. So that's what my goal is, just to talk about music because I love it, and we don't do it enough. I find because we're always gigging, and I know so many people. I've played with so many musicians, and I never had a conversation like this with them until the podcast.
True. It's true.
You
Yeah, and
know,
it can get competitive, but
a,
yeah,
fuck, a
it's
good friend of mine I've known for 20 years on the podcast revealed to me that he has no fucking eardrum. And I had no idea. I played gigs with him. It's like, yeah, man, I got operated and they removed my eardrum. So I don't hear out of my left ear. I was like, what the fuck? And it's just funny.
shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking, right?
But what you're doing is good for Montreal musicians in general because I've tried getting in touch with a couple of radio stations to get our music on. There's not one radio station in Montreal that promotes new music, Montreal music, like
Terrible, isn't
local
it?
music. There's nobody, not one. Like we got 30, 40 stations. Not one has like one segment to promote the stuff or even to give you the opportunity.
I
But
find
you're
that
on the
terrible.
show, you're talking to bands, you're talking to musicians, you're pushing stuff. So, one person at a time, you are helping
You
get the
try.
word across. The
You
local
try.
bands, the cover bands, the music. It's great. It's good. It's great.
Oh, thank you. I
It's
appreciate
appreciated.
that. I mean, I try. I don't have much power, but we try, and I love meeting new people. So next time I'm in Windsor, Tony, I might give you a call and say, "Hey, is that pool
You
open?"
come, or I might get to Montreal before that though. I OD a trip. The last time I was there was 2017, and our trip got cut short unfortunately, prematurely. We were at a nice restaurant downtown. Where were we? Do you remember the place in Montreal, Old Montreal?
No, old Montreal somewhere. I don't remember what place it
Anyways,
was.
and it got cut short, so I owe him a makeup trip. But I really want to come and see Loudmouth and get to know the guys too, because they seem like really cool guys too.
Absolutely, absolutely. We should definitely hang out, right?
Okay, well, I'll let you know when I'm coming, bro.
So what's next for the Far Removed? Where, like, what the next song you said is going to be the happy song coming out in the summer? Is that the goal?
Should be coming out in about a month.
The
hopefully.
chocolate one there.
Just the chocolate covered swirl. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be funny. So part of the dilemma. So it's called Chocolate Covered Swirl,
Okay.
and again, it has that very like dancey, fun pop vibe to it. Not really about anything too serious. But the funny thing about it is that what we're trying to do is we're trying to have an animated AI video done for this thing. We obviously don't know how to do that because Dee's son, Nicholas, he thought it sounded like I was saying chocolate covered squirrel. And we just thought that was like hilarious because it doesn't even make sense. But a chocolate like so now we've got this squirrel like this image of this squirrel licking an ice cream in our mind, and it's actually so that's our next goal is to try to make the chocolate covered squirrel part of the chocolate covered swirl.
Swirl.
That might go viral, my friend.
Right? That's all it
Just
takes.
talking about
Something
just
crazy.
talking about a chocolate covered squirrel might go viral.
Well, that's the funny part about it. People will not know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's a fun one. But we've got a bunch written. The other ones are more in the vein of this sort of soul pop. And then, we just wrapped up another tune that I think Dee's maybe going to work on with his guys. And we've also, we've written with, I don't know if you know who Mara Litra is, but she's a local Montreal Greek artist that we've done some work with, and she's fantastic. Just about really, kind of figuring out if she wants to do some more English music because we love working with her too. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity, and we just like you, we love to write. If somebody called us tomorrow and says, "Hey, you want to write with me?" We'd be like, "Sure," as long as they didn't get offended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Awesome.
if there's anyone in Montreal who wants to write with us, just give us a shout. We like to write. We work with different artists all the time. So if you got an idea and you want it developed, just give us a call.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, cool. I mean, should they like? Where should we? Do you want to give your information? Do you want me to put it up on the?
Oh, yeah, I can give you. I'll give it to you. We can put it up on the screen. The far removed at hotmail.com. I
Okay.
believe
Yeah,
is our
like
email.
there's a ton of artists out there that have ideas that they just can't take to the next level. And if they're willing to be open-minded to feedback, and that's where usually it breaks down, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Because when you try to give some feedback and say, hey, look, this is how I would produce this, just from a pop perspective or what you're going for. And usually that's when people get offended. But if there's open-minded musicians out there that want to take their music to another level, we're happy to help. Lyrically, musically, recording-wise.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Amazing. Guys, thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. We definitely, if you do come, well, whenever you do come to Montreal, we'll hang out and we'll have another podcast, man. We'll sit down and we'll talk where the Far Removed is. Maybe we can even have Loudmouth and the Far Removed together in one fucking big city.
I like it.
A jam session podcast where we play a couple of songs, jam it out, and talk about music, man.
You know what, Steph? Thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I will see you guys in Montreal.
Amazing.
It's a commitment.
Guys, thank you so much, and we'll keep this going, Dee. We'll see you at the in the next 20 seconds. We'll see you back at the gallery.
Bye.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take care, man.
Tony, take care of yourself, eh?
All right,
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot for this. Thank you.
So now we're back, and you know what we're talking about. You can see the camaraderie between you and Tony. I can tell you guys have known each other forever, and you just read into each other's mind. That's amazing. And how you enjoy working together. Like 35 years is a long time.
We talked yesterday about trusting each other, that we have this trust. And I remember early on when we started writing, and he would work on a piece of music and he would send it to me. And then he sent it to me and I'd like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. And he'd be like, okay, no problem. You kind of hang up the phone, and months later go visit him. And his wife would start telling me, yeah, that was that day he was kicking stuff around because, you told him you didn't like the song. But we have this thing that, we trust each other. We get not upset, but, we take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, of course.
But we have this trust, and it's been a long time friendship that, no matter what's said, we love each other on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to take as a human.
Yeah.
And generally, when like a friendship, you can have someone say, "Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that," but then people just won't talk back. They take it personally.
Yeah, that with us it's not.
And that's amazing.
We swallow it, we walk away.
Yeah.
We have our breathing space and come back.
Yeah.
And then we file it in the G file and it's gone.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, that's when you know it's a true. That's when you know that whole. Do I look fat? And
type of thing.
That type of thing.
No,
like most people are going to say no.
You don't look fat. It's the fat that makes you look fat.
Yeah. No, but most people will say no, and the true friend will say, "Fuck, you got to work on that." And it's not to be a prick. It's the truth. Hey, man, you're starting to look fat, and you got to lose some weight because I care about you so much that I.
And he'll tell me, like, you played too many notes, or you got to scale it down. You're trying too much, and why don't we just bring this down and just build it up? And I'm like, you know what? It's great. Yeah, you're right. I'll bring it down, and then we'll adjust upwards vocally. I didn't like that. Can you try that? We go back and forth, and we listen, and we trust each other, and it's been working out really great for us.
Songwriting is something where I haven't to say I've written a few songs, and I've released a few songs here and there. It wasn't my main thing. I was always gigging, but it's something where it's hard not putting in all your chops. Yeah, because you're like, I'm releasing this song. Okay, let me do a little solo, and you want to fucking overplay the shit out of it because you want to basically you take a song and you want to treat it like an audition. Like, this is what I can do, or fucking, and that's not what a song is. And so
it's about scaling it to its best sound, right?
It's got to be for the song, not for how good you are.
Right. And Alex Van Halen said, if it sounds good, it's good.
Yeah.
So sometimes we try to, like, okay, let's put more layers and add a shaker, and then you're listening to it and it's just clutter. And then you start removing all the pieces and you actually leave the bear of the song and you let it build organically on its own.
Yeah.
And it has that.
Exactly.
And that's something that it's taken me a bit of time. I'm not great at it yet, and but it's something that I'm learning and getting better at. And I can hear all the layers when I start playing or start writing it. It just starts to build up, and then I know when, okay, gotta stop.
Yeah.
Let the vocal go in right now, because if I keep building it, I'm not going to hear the vocal anymore. Tone's not going to come through. The melody's not going to be there because I'm going to drown them out. So play space.
Yeah. The the key I think is always hook.
Yeah.
The hook,
get
the
to the
lyric,
chorus.
And I was never a lyric guy, but the hook. If I can drive down the street and sing that melody because it just stuck there.
In your head, yeah.
That's the Beatles.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the Beatles.
It's the formula is there, right? It's just to get it. And if it's ear candy and you can just sing it over and over, and we talked about it yesterday, it's that tingle. Like when you feel it and okay, that's catchy, right? People are going to sing to that. They're going to like it.
Yeah.
Then you have it.
Absolutely. And you definitely have it with.
And we have more stuff coming out that we've written that has that aspect in it.
So you never touch lyrics?
Very rarely. I might give a suggestion, a line, or a theme to a song, like, what do you want to write about? Let's talk about this, and he'll take it from there. I might give him, change, this chorus might sound like this, or like that, but it's not my forte.
Okay.
So that's his strength, and we work to each other's strengths. Melody-wise, sometimes I'll play him a melody, a top line on the piano, and say, this is what I kind of hear, and he'll take it and he'll run with it. Okay. But most of that stuff, I let him do it.
Fantastic.
And just focus on the other stuff.
Where do you see the Far Removed in 2, 3, 5 years? Like, do you have a goal, or is it just, it's cathartic for me, I'm just going to write, whatever happens, happens?
Where, hopefully we get discovered. Hopefully we build an audience and we can continue to write and have people continue to listen to our music, and it grows and we can keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it regardless if we have an audience or not, but because we like doing it, and we're slowly getting some people on streams, on Spotify. It's building up little by little. But we keep writing. If we talked about this yesterday, if anybody else wants to write with us, if we can write for other artists and branch out to that,
sure,
we're happy to do that. We worked with a kid a couple of years ago, Jacob Critch, from Newfoundland. His father's actually Mark Critch from the show This Hour Has 22 Minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about it at the time when I met the kid online. He was on the forums, and we did a song called Rome, and he killed it. Like, he did a really, really good job on it. Then COVID hit and a couple other things, and we stopped writing for other people.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get back into working with other artists. Tone talked about Tanner Massey from The Voice.
Yeah.
We've written a couple songs with him. So, any young talent who's looking for a song
Sure.
that we can branch out and
So you
reach
would
new
consider
people.
yourself producers as well, right?
Yeah, produce,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you can
So,
produce the song, put
We,
together.
we're easy branching on the far removed or writing for other people, but where I see myself in 5 years, hopefully still alive.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's a guarantee. That's,
Here, but just doing the same thing, playing, writing, loudmouth, playing, doing that stuff, and just having fun. And
music has to be prevalent.
music is going to be in
your
my life. If I have to be in a wheelchair on stage, I'll be on wheelchair on stage. I will continue to play till I can't play no more, or
love
write till
that.
I can't write no more.
I fucking love that, man. I love that. No, it's the yes, you are going to be alive. Yes, it's going to be for a long time, and music has to be.
But I should have said 7 years because there's an asteroid coming, right? Like a city killer in
Is
7
it?
years. Yeah. They keep talking about it on the news.
I don't know. I stopped.
I know.
I
Me too.
fucking stopped listening to the music.
It's crazy.
I got the Trump
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I can't listen to another fucking thing.
Trump,
It's
the
driving
mask,
me
everything.
crazy.
Yeah, just all of it.
That, we do music to get away from negativity because it makes me happy, and I can't listen to people complain about this government, that government, this government. It's driving me crazy.
So when you play live and you're on stage and you got the click track or no click track going
Yeah.
in your head, what are you thinking of?
Man, I have a smile the whole time.
Exactly. That's my place.
Yeah.
It's being up there, not thinking about work tomorrow, not
Yeah.
thinking about what I have, not
Yeah.
thinking about what happened,
Absolutely.
where I'm going. It's just, I look out, I look at the people smiling, I look at the people dancing,
Yeah.
and I'm gone.
I close my eyes a
Yeah.
lot.
So for 3 hours,
Yeah.
2.5 hours, I'm gone.
Gone.
When
Finished.
I'm writing music, it's the same thing. It's just immersion. You're immersed in there.
You're immersed,
So when
yeah.
you're talking about like the news and all that stuff, music is just a great way you put it on and you forget everything else.
Best thing in the world, honestly.
For me.
If I didn't have it, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's part of my living, but
Yeah.
I don't know emotionally how I would. I'd fucking be terrible. I'd be the biggest asshole in the world.
We'd be in a bar right now having drinks. And
like
watching
I probably right. I don't
Just
know.
miserable.
As I'm drinking my sorrows away, I keep drinking and drinking, but I don't know where I'd be. It's just such a this podcast is an example.
People in the arts, artists, Sonny who does acting and all that, it's a way to express, to get away from it, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of know, we feel that because we've experienced it. And it's like you're in a bubble, you're in a pocket, you're somewhere else for a couple hours, and then you come back to world,
Yeah.
to reality.
Yeah, and whenever I'm not in a good mood, I'll put a song
Yeah.
on, and man, all of a sudden,
Yeah, that's it.
it changes the whole.
Music's on in my house all the time. There's
Yeah.
music in the background, in the
Absolutely.
car.
Absolutely.
It's just on.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my God, guys, this is usually I have different sections on sessions with Stef where I'll ask questions, but I've already done it with him, so I'm just gonna ask like one or two questions just to end off the podcast. Do you prefer studio or live? Like, if you had to pick one? I know it's a dumb question,
It's
but
a tough one. I'd probably say studio.
yeah, okay, cool.
I love playing live, but I like being in the studio. I like writing.
Okay.
It's getting something inside me out
Cool.
and being able to share it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool.
Mind you, if I play live my own material, then I'd probably say that.
That's another level.
That's
right?
another level,
That's another
yeah.
level. That's
Being able to play my material live, our material live.
Yeah, for sure.
As
Which honestly, you should.
We've thought about it because he lives far away. It's hard to, organize.
Fuck it.
But we have to try it, yeah.
Fuck it.
You know?
Just put a lineup together.
And just do it.
Get a venue.
Want to play keyboards?
I'm in.
There you go.
Man,
All right.
fuck it. I say yes
To anything.
to anything.
All right,
I want.
we got the keyboard player, so we're down to only a
You
bass
want
player and a drum player.
I'll play tambourine. Whatever the fuck
done.
you want, I'll play any of it. I love it. I
How about
love it.
backups?
I
Good?
do backups all the
Good, there you
time.
go.
I study piano, so
Good.
I'm good.
We're
I'm
good.
to that. Yeah, man. I know tons of musicians, tons of drummers.
So maybe we'll set it up.
Honestly,
Maybe we'll come to Montreal. Tone's gonna come down. We'll do a gig, and
we can rent this. We had an album launch in this place.
all right.
Like we had the setup right here, and the band was playing, and then the music was playing over like an
Sounds
album
good.
launch.
We'll hook
kinda
it up.
thing. You know what? Sometimes 20 people in a venue, it doesn't matter.
It's just to do it, right?
It's just
to play
to do it. You play your stuff. It's you close your eyes, you enjoy that time away from life, and
so that's it. It's
great.
done. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. And it's good stuff. So you need to play it in front of people.
Yeah.
You need to play it. Absolutely. What would be one show of anyone who, like, what would be the one, if you had to pick one show to go watch and witness live once, what would be the one artist that you like?
I'd love to see Queen.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Queen.
Yeah.
I love all their music. They're one band that when we write on our material, not that we follow them, but they were a band that didn't have one set style. They just wrote what sounded good.
Yeah.
And from We Will Rock You to Show Must Go On to Radio Gaga, they were different songs.
Yeah.
And like, I would be entertained the entire show because everything is different.
It's different.
It wouldn't be like, I respect Metallica, but everything is heavy.
Yeah.
Where Queen, everything is different. Like
Completely different, yeah. I'm amazed at how they came up with what they do. Like, how the fuck do you sit there and write "Don't Stop Me Now"? Like, it's just how does that come out of you?
Here's my question to you: if you're stranded on an island, what would be the one record you'd bring with you?
And that's funny because I've been asked that question. That record. So I remember my uncle asking me when I was a teenager, and I think I'm going to stick with it. So the song Bohemian Rhapsody, not because it's my favorite all-time song, but it's got an element of ballad, amazing vocals, rock. So that would be the one song that I would listen to all the time because I can zone into a different section of the song.
That's Queen in a nutshell.
That's Queen in a nutshell, right? Yeah, 100%. So maybe it would be a Queen album. I don't know. That's a hard one. A whole album, shit. I don't think I can answer that.
Yeah, because there's so much music out there, right?
Yeah, there's so much.
And good music too. Good artists, good stuff out there. A lot of it we haven't even heard because...
Do you have an album that you would...
I'd probably put Journey's Greatest Hits.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when we were touring with Tony back in the day, we had it on CD. We were talking about CDs before on your podcast. We had a portable CD player that would plug into the cassette player. I don't know if you remember.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah.
So we had that, and we had our AA batteries that we would carry around. And we'd be driving 5-6 hours to a gig, and we just put that thing on loop, and we were singing it in the car, 4 o'clock in the morning, driving down Highway 17.
So fun, man.
we know that. I know that album inside out. So
I played in a Styx tribute band. It was so fun.
Yeah,
Well, it was Styx and Journey. So Styx and Journey tribute band. So we did. It was called Journey to the Grand Illusion.
Oh, cool.
Right? It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool vibe.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
A really good singer.
But damn, poor guy was dying by the end of the night. He was dead. But yeah, it was a really fun music to play and good stuff.
Yeah, it's a Journey's challenging to play, great to listen to.
So Styx,
and they've got the ballads, they've got the rock songs, they're all over the place.
Journey harder to sing, Styx harder musically, a little bit. They've got, there are 7-8 beats here and there and stuff like that. But anyway, wow, D, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. The wine was great.
Yeah, the wine is amazing. Where can we find all of this? The Far Removed on YouTube for sure.
We're on Spotify, YouTube, thefarremoved.com. No, we don't have a webpage. We're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Our email is thefarremoved@hotmail.com if you want to reach out. If you're looking for music or us to play anywhere.
Songwriting.
You need help writing a song, you need anything, production, the video editing, anything, let us know.
Wow.
And we're here to help. We like meeting new people.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you again.
I thank Tony once again for doing the Zoom and his great talent. You guys are extremely talented.
Take a listen to The King, share it.
Yeah, check it out. So we can find all on YouTube, Spotify. Check out The Far Removed and all their songs. They're going to be releasing every month or so.
Every month we should be coming
Every month there's a new song coming out, so you got to check it out. I have the inside scoop on the next one. And it looks good, so it's going to be amazing. So guys, enjoy. Thank you for watching. Lisa, thanks a lot. Sessions with Stef.
Very welcome.
Sign up. Sign up.
Sign up.
Follow us, Instagram.
Subscribe.
Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. Help us out. Come on, man.
We want more cups.
We need to get more cups. More cups have to be done. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Sessions with Stef is now done.
Cheers.